I love
What's
that
up,
chain on
fellas?
you. That's the hardest earned chain I've seen yet, baby.
Thanks. Awesome. Welcome.
Hey, can we see him up close on the camera?
Oh,
Look at that shit. Yeah.
Gleaming. Gleaming.
Man, they can't let you in a refrigerator. You'll melt everything with all that, man. That shit's hot. Look at that.
there you go.
Woo!
Hell
Look
yeah.
at that. That's exactly what the man is after. Welcome, champ.
So,
Welcome to the weekly bust.
can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Yes.
Word. All right. Because ain't no earbud going in the left ear right now. I tried, but it just didn't work.
That's all right, man.
That's
We can hear you loud and
understandable.
clear, man.
Uh,
Are we coming in good to you?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. Like I said, only
perfect.
through one ear, though.
All
Hold
right.
on, let me see. Oh.
So let's
All right,
just
I'm
get
good.
right
I'm
into it
in.
since we got a short limit and we got a line of shit to talk about with you, man. Thank you for offering your time with us tonight. We know it's late where you're at.
Yes,
I was
thank
sitting
you.
here playing. I was working on some things, and then y'all called me, so I started playing my game a little bit, relaxing. So, but no, thank you guys for reaching out. You know? Y'all caught me at everything happens for a reason. You know, like I
That's
said,
right.
I'm just gonna keep walking the path that I walk. So, let's have some fun. Let's chop it up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, man. So normally it's just me and Levi on the weekly bus. We added a new host to here. This is our little brother here. This is Mason. So don't mind him. He's gonna chime in every now and then. Levi is a main host. He's my brother also. We're all blood brothers here.
Yeah.
And
Okay. All right.
so
Well, I am happy to support your family venture, man. That's what it's about.
yeah, man.
Yes, sir. We appreciate
It's
it.
nice to see y'all working together.
We're rising, baby. We're
And nice to
rising.
meet you, young man. Hopefully, I don't know. I feel like an old man amongst men. So,
Hey, it comes with wisdom. Comes with wisdom.
That belt looks good on you, champ.
thank you. I appreciate it. I
Yes,
worked
sir.
hard for it. I want another one to solidify my legacy. Period.
Okay,
I'll be a champion, but a champion isn't truly a champion until they defend what's theirs. So anybody can win a belt, but can you defend that belt? And then, in all honesty, nobody in the 135-pound weight class has ever successfully defended their belt. Not one person.
That's a fun fact. That's a hot take.
That is a fun fact.
That
I
is a
like
fun
that.
fact.
I didn't actually know that.
So if that be the case, it doesn't matter who or whenever the stars align for whoever it to be. You know? That's what I'm looking forward to the most, is solidifying myself as the actual first champion, the first man in the 135-pound weight division to successfully defend their belt, whether it was an interim or a world title. Because Johnny didn't defend his, Dad took it from Johnny, and Dad didn't defend it, he vacated. Johnny beat me again for the vacant belt. Johnny didn't come back and defend, so they gave him the interim belt, and they gave him a chance to defend it while Johnny was still out. And if he comes back, he comes back. If he doesn't, like I said, my hats off to Grant. He didn't have to put it on the line. He really thought he could beat me. And like I said, incredible power. He's really strong. I actually believe he hits harder than Johnny. Johnny caught me with like flash punches to knock me down. I felt the power behind Jarod's punches. And
not to discredit Jarod on it like at all, but Saturday, that was a dominant performance by you.
Yeah, you were all over.
That was the point. That was the point, to take his heart round by round, little by little, chip away at the block, and then take him out. That's what I was trying to do. And
at one point,
I don't believe it was a poke. I know that all three of the surfaces of the front of my fist went into his eye and then slid off, and I threw a corkscrew punch. I mean,
hey man, we watched it frame
you
by
know
frame.
anything about fighting, I didn't poke him. It was the entirety of the front of my fist.
No, I watched it.
We watched it frame by frame.
This knuckle, and my thumb all went in at the same exact time.
We watched it frame by frame.
That's not an eye poke. There's a difference.
No.
If my thumb's out here like this, and I'm like, I threw my fist was like this, and when I threw it, all of this, 1, 2, 3, all of that went right in his eye and slid off. And I went to duck under the counter, and he fell. And I was like, holy shit, I landed it. Like, to myself, I was like, oh shit, I landed it. You don't understand. so we teach different in my gym, and one of the things that I teach is punch variation. There are so many different ways to throw more than just one punch. And I know I was lighting him up with a straight left all night, down the pipe. And honestly, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw a corkscrew. And I see the sequence in my head because I practiced it over and over again. Go back and watch it. I'm standing from southpaw, I step right. I step back left, I switch into right-handed, I throw a left hook, I step back out and throw a straight 1-2. And when I threw that 2, I turned it down into his face and he fell. Pull up the sequence. I know it in my head because
I remember I watched that replay.
I practiced that in training with my coach Chase over and over again.
That's hard work, baby. That's dedication paying off, man.
That's what that shirt's all about. Educated hands.
Speaking of that, let Mason ask this question.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
You were just talking about your training, and I was wondering like how you got your nickname Educated Hands, because to me that's super unique.
Well, so my original ring name is Easy,
Mm-hmm.
and I got that in 2008. So when I first started boxing, everybody called me Showtime because even though I could fight, I wasn't really that technically sound. I was more or less the kid that went out there and threw a lot of punches and hoped that I outpunched you.
Yeah, right.
And and I had a lot of amateur boxing matches thanks to my dad. I got better because I just started training. There were a few times where, not taking away from my father, where he just didn't have the opportunity to train me, and I was in the gym and I would train myself. I got opportunities to work with some really, really unique professional boxers to our area and in other places, and I just got better at boxing in itself. And in 2008, I did the Mid-Atlantic tournament. We weighed in on Thursday. We fought on Thursday. I won stoppage. We weighed in I won every day, all the way up till Sunday. Every day. I won the whole entire tournament. And this little kid comes by and he's like, man,
was it like a tough man tournament or like
No, it's a USA boxing tournament. The
Mid-Atlantic you did Emmy.
We're talking amateur boxing. We're talking
okay.
I mean, there was at least there's at least 500 plus boxers there in all different weight classes.
Where was it at? In Kansas?
No, it was right. That was the thing. It was right here at home in Virginia. They had it at the Virginia Beach Convention Center.
Crazy.
And I got to fight all weekend right down here. And for me, that was like one of the first big tournaments that I got to do at home as an amateur. Me and my dad travel. We do like the little weekend tournaments. He took us to the Ringside World Championships once when I was real young, and I lost in the first round of the tournament. I kind of sat there the whole rest of the week and watched my godbrother and one of my good friends, they won the tournament, so I had to sit there a whole week because I lost the first round. It was just learning experience, but yeah, just things like that. So boxing's always been a part of my life. And the little kid, he gave me the ring name Easy. He was like, man, they should just call you Easy. He said, you made it look easy all weekend. I mean, every fight I dusted those kids. And it was really because the time in between that, I was in a rough stage in my life, and boxing and being in the gym was essentially the only thing that was keeping me, for that time. I still got a few more bumps and bruises before I got my shit together, for lack of a better word. But
yeah.
So I actually have a leading question. I have a question that leads off of that actually, which is
yeah, go ahead.
So you have a promotion that's coming on, right? Or something that we're gonna bring up later, a charity or something you're doing for your community.
Yeah, we got later. Man, I got so much stuff going on that outside of myself. Those things are more important than this belt, bro.
I was gonna say that you sounded very passionate about that, and especially that topic. And I wanted to know. Usually, we have a lot more time with our guests, and we could go over their life story, but we're not gonna have that opportunity.
We don't do all that. Ask your questions, and I'll give you 2-minute answers. We can crank it up. I'll give you 2-minute answers or a minute 30, whatever. And when the question's over,
I want to
wave at me, and we'll keep it moving, and then we'll circle back to anything. Then we'll circle back to anything else that we need.
Absolutely.
But I want to tell y'all, Educated Hands came from Antonio Tarver in the very first bare knuckle fight. When I went back and I watched the commentator, he said, Travis Thompson is going to have to do something. Whatever, I don't know what the comment was to get past the educated hands of Reggie Barnett Jr. And if you watch the Travis Thompson fight, to me as a boxer, like I promise you, go back and watch it tonight. And then you watch the fight, from Saturday to my evolution as a complete bare knuckle fighter, because what you saw was everything in controlled dominance. I boxed when I needed to box, and it flowed into my grappling when I needed to. And some of the spots where I trapped him, he did not want me to hit him. He held on to my hand, held on to my wrap. You know what I'm saying? He got down on the ground because he knew he was trapped and what was going to happen.
Jared's background's boxing also, isn't it?
Yeah, but so is mine. Yeah, he had like 47 amateur fights. Man, I was in the hundreds. I was in the hundreds. I know I lost at least 20-something amateur fights. So I was in the hundreds when I finished my amateur boxing.
Yeah, that was my next question. What was your record with your Amis?
Man, I had 3 passbooks. And each passbook holds up to like 40 to 50 fights.
Yep. So our auntie is the administrator for Montana for USA Boxing here. So we're really, really familiar with amateur boxing. That's why a lot of those questions.
Yeah, we haven't missed an event in like.
Yeah, we don't miss amateur boxing events at all.
But yeah, my dad just came back from Wichita, Kansas, with 2 of our girls. They were at the national tournament. So I don't know. I know I lost 28 fights, man. I lost my first 7 fights, so as an amateur boxer.
Well, that just like I said, got a heart of the lion.
My dad was in the military. He's gone to sea 6 months. He'd come home. If it was the wintertime, I maybe got like 8 or 9 fights. If it was the summertime, we were going, booming, up and down, whatever little tournaments they had, and the high schools and the little amateur showroom showcase events, where they give out little trophies and belts and stuff like that, and different up and down the East Coast, man. So they went to Ohio. I didn't get a fight. The worst thing as an amateur, man, is traveling hours away, and then you get there and you don't get a fight.
You're all packed in there with a band, but 12 kids together.
Yeah, and then you get all the way there, you weigh in, and there's nobody to fight you. Man, that used to fucking suck.
Yeah, show up. We might got a fight for you.
I got a question from a fan on our live. She wants to know, and it's actually our auntie Jamie, who is the administrator for USA Boxing. She asked, is there a punch in that fight with Grant that you regretted throwing?
Is there a punch I regretted throwing?
Yeah, that you regretted throwing during the fight with Grant.
I hit him behind the neck in one of our first intentional initial clinches. Like I know it hit him behind the neck. As far as like the forearm part, I didn't do anything wrong. I was trying to post off of his face and shoot over top of it. And it's not like I hit him. I was actually trying to post off the side of him and strike him. But I know I accidentally did hit him in the back of the neck when that first like sequence of clinch in the first round. I was trying to trap his head down, and I came around and hit him in the back of the neck. So, but other than that, no, I threw everything that I was supposed to throw.
It was a flawless. It was a flawless performance.
I didn't go down to Florida for a decision.
That's right.
That is right, my man.
Look at it any way you want to. I don't felt like I threw an intentional foul punch. It's just fair enough. So you can call it whatever. And, much respect to Jarod, but the way you handle it after the fact is unprofessional. If I fouled you, take your time. And if you feel like you can't fight anymore, then the fight is over. But you didn't even, stay in the ring long enough to let them fully assess you or anything like that.
Did he dip off?
I think
he topped.
Stretched it out, didn't he?
We see the videos of the stretchers.
Well, that was after the back, when he was in the back.
Right.
But, we had quite a bit of time, I guess, because I still had time to get my belt and all that and make it to the back to see him before he got, But at the end of the day, we're professionals. And I wouldn't do anything to foul anybody intentionally. And
it's actually a little strange because the unprofessionalism that came out that night with Slaughterhouse, it just seemed unusual because that team's so tight. You know, whatever happened with Howard Davis and Brian Durant, I don't really know the deets on that. And then
yeah,
Alex, I
yeah,
seen
me
Alex
either.
running his mouth, and we all seen Howard Davis get popped.
Right.
But it just seems like that Slaughterhouse had a rough night that night. A lot of emotions that were
Controversy
getting
for sure.
thrown around.
You get out what you put in.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. So
So,
you mentioned about you ain't certified as a fighter in your eyes as a champ until you defend it. But then you also mentioned that you would like to go after another belt. Would that encourage you to move up in weight or down in weight and chase like the Palomino
either
route,
or,
take all belts?
either or.
Right.
I don't know if there's really anybody at 145 that's interested me in fighting at the moment. You know, that's not really my route. Like I said, I'm walking around at the same weight I fight at. You know, unless I'm eating super unhealthy. So at the end of the day, the 125 weight class, if it ever opens up to the point where there's somebody else I can, go against as far as fighting in a tournament ever at 125 now, that's out the window. It's not going to happen. But at any point they feel like there's somebody worthy enough for a 125-pound title, I'll be gladly, ready and willing to go to my actual weight. And, when you're talking about cutting weight and put on another performance, and we'll see what happens down there. So.
Right. I seen you post a post about your hands. You said a real fighter don't damage their hands. How your hands feeling?
Oh, good, dude.
Good, dude.
They look nice, man.
Hey, that all looks calculated hits. I like that.
Those are some educated hands.
How's that? Yeah.
Look, man, it's not like there's levels to this shit that I had to learn, over the years, man. I got good game from Bobby Gunn the very beginning of this journey. He even told me, and I wasn't even utilizing it to its full effect until that fight. He said, speed, 80% speed to the head, 100% power to the body when you're close.
Wow.
I got that exactly from Bobby Gunn. He said, don't break your hands. He said, speed on the head. Get their attention. When you get close enough, throw them as hard as you can, as fast as you can, as many as you can to the body, and get out of there.
I seen you picking your body shots when you needed to, man. It was nice. Like I said,
I stayed a little too long in a few spots. I stayed a little too long in a few spots. I didn't trap in a few places that I could have utilized it. But I mean, like I said, it's still evolving. And if you look at the sport from start to now, I have evolved as a fighter, and I'm only getting better. So it doesn't matter who they throw at me. I'm going to evolve again. And can you deal with that? If it's, who we think it's going to be.
Who's your favorite fighter in BKFC right now?
It's a tie. So Lorenzo Hunt, and of course,
our boy Lorenzo. What's up, baby?
And of course, Elvin knows that I have the utmost respect and love for him.
Oh, you say Brito? Yeah, we love Brito, dude. Brito's my dog.
No, I mean, I can't really, if we're talking like top dog fighter wise, it's hands down Luis and freaking Lorenzo. I mean, it's just that's what it is. You respect it or you don't.
I said it just the other day. I said,
we're talking men wise, and then when you talk female wise, Christine right now is top dog in the in the.
I just think there ain't a person around that's gonna mess with Lorenzo. I really do believe that. I said that on my story the other day. I don't think there's anyone around. I don't think there's a fighter around that's gonna truly mess with Lorenzo. Not in his weight classes.
So, in all honesty, I feel like, and I love Lorenzo to death. He's like a big brother to me, but he should fight Chihulo again. If you are the champion, you have this man who beat you, who's walking around. It's not anything to prove or whatever. I'm like I said, it's about building a legacy. To go back and put a stamp on, yes, I am the gorilla in this yard, and it does not matter if you beat me once. You can't come back over here and beat me for my spot again.
I agree with that.
That way, then
you agree with that?
I think
That's what I'm saying.
This is
You know,
only loss in the
there's-
PK, bro.
Sure, I get that. Do you think that?
I mean, there's just so much intermingling stuff. I don't want to call it politics, but because it's not politics, it's fight sense.
It's
You know what I'm saying? We're
entertainment.
talking about, but not even entertainment. I'm not even talking about on an entertainment level. I'm talking about as far as honor amongst warriors when it truly makes fucking fight sense, right?
Yeah.
Period. So, you know, you can throw, you know, whoever so and so's name in the air to be Lorenzo's next, you know, title defense, but in all honesty, the universe knows who it should be. Right? And then we talk about Luis.
I want him to run it back with
being the
Brito
double
now.
champ.
Oh,
Right?
that,
Yes. Absolutely. In his weight class.
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
I got.
Or
Okay.
I personally would love to see a catch right in the middle. If they both can make that and right in the middle, a catch weight for both belts.
belts?
Run it back.
Both belts?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
for both belts.
1,000%. I
A
think the
catch weight
fans want
fight.
that, man.
If I don't know. For me personally, the fight could have went either way. The third round was a swing round for me. Elvin definitely won the first 2 rounds. He was winning the third round. Luis put the pedal to the metal, realizing what was going on, and he came back and won the last 2 rounds. So it's however you want to judge that fight. That's just, you know, the easy perspective. That's all I can
Who did you
give.
give it
That's
to?
how I viewed the fight.
Who'd you
What?
give it to?
I had to fight a draw.
Okay.
That's fair. I think if anything, it was closest to a draw. If not, it went to Brito.
So-
I was surprised that it went to Palomino.
I got one for you. It seems like you've been in a few different fight like promotions. Which one's your favorite? Like BKFC, seen you in that underground fight league
Underground,
with Mighty Mouse.
What was the other one?
Well,
That,
so
Something.
I've never fought in the underground fight league.
Okay.
Professional fighter. I sparred with Peanut at one of the. We were having a raise awareness for voting, and we had a couple of senators come in and talk about changes in the community. So, and y'all, I'm sure y'all can pull the video. Me and Peanut, his opponent didn't last a minute with him. So I didn't have no shoes, no mouthpiece, no nothing. I had on my wife beater and some. I think I had on a pair of jeans. I don't know. You can pull the video up. It's on YouTube. And I got in there and I had fun.
You
You know,
showed
I
up
gave
and
it
got to work. That's right.
You know, and it was just literally I was there as a special guest referee for Mouse. You know,
Nice.
he has gone through his turmoil online, and you know everybody's gonna hate and this and that. So my only perspective is that God judges our sins not the same way that man does. He served his time in the community, and I always wish for him because he was out here. We were doing events for a little while. He left, and I just wish for them to, you know, continue to pump positive things and do positive shit in the community. You know,
You're a humble guy, man. That's
long
all.
as he's
That's the only
doing
thing I
that,
picked up, man. You're a very humble guy.
Hey, so I got a question for you.
Yeah, Miles could toss me now. Like if he grabbed me, yeah, probably, but he ain't fucking with these hands. He knows that.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, so you were the heavy
Speaking of Mike.
underdog. You were the heavy underdog on that fight. Did you have any nerves going in, knowing that, or?
Yeah,
No,
so
it wasn't.
actually, I want to put it out
No.
there. We actually ran a poll
No.
with you and Grant, and everyone, there was about 25 voters. Every single person voted Grant, bro. So you showed every person that voted, you
Oh,
proved them all wrong, bro.
Yeah, you're plus 160 on the
it's
official.
not even about proving anybody wrong because I already knew what was gonna happen. It
Right.
was just a matter of what capacity it was gonna happen and was I gonna do my part. And like I said, you know, I got rocked in that fight twice. You can't catch it. You can't see it unless you really, really go back and look for it because
Which I will.
with the recording. Go back. Go ahead. I'm not ashamed of
No, I didn't see anything in that
I'm a
fight
fighter,
that
I'm a
was
man.
my decision. I
Oh.
thought you had it from the moment you had like round 3, man. I already gave it to you. You were whipping ass.
Even if
bro.
you were rocked, it didn't look like
Yeah, I
it
didn't see it.
on the outside.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, like it didn't matter. You were not going to beat me in any capacity. You know,
Because I watch
just,
intensely.
it took me a while, and I took my foot off the gas in the third, because I was trying to be a little more picky and find one body shot. And my
Right.
daddy was doing the same thing in between rounds. He's like, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "Looking for a body shot." He's like, "Don't look for it, just throw."
Hey,
And then I-
speaking of your dad, I seen, everyone seems to understand that your father has been your idol growing up, and I want to know, can you verbalize and capture that emotion that you finally earned the belt after what, 3-4 times?
three
Three
tries.
times?
This
That was
is
3 tries.
Yeah.
So, we were in the back finally getting, doing our last prep for the fight. And I went over and I put my forehead on his and I said, "All right, Dad, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do." I said, "I promise you, either I'm coming out of that damn squared circle on a stretcher or I'm coming out with that belt." I was like, "I won't let you down." He was like, "All right, let's go to work." And, we went downstairs and
grabbed
I
the lunch pail and
I
got to
didn't have a
work.
doubt in my mind. I knew that a hard time in the fight would come eventually, and it was going to be a matter of how well I dealt with it. But
Sure.
y'all don't understand. So I'm gonna get y'all said y'all like raw shit. I know y'all probably can't see it, but there is a laceration right here on the front of my shin.
It showed up.
I took a picture of it, right? So we accepted the fight, and the very next week, my last week at work, helping my crew out. My job isn't cushy, but I'm the supervisor. I'm in charge now, so I work as hard as I want to.
Sure.
But I don't ever leave my crew hanging. And I was doing something, and a piece of metal went right through the front of my shin. That was the very, very first. I think it was either the first or the second week of training camp. And so I trained for 2 weeks with stitches in my leg.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Yeah.
All right,
Well,
and then we go back to the doctor, and she said, "What did you do?" And I said, I trained my ass off. She said, "Well, that's apparent. Your leg's infected. Here, take these antibiotics." And I was like, "What?" We're talking 3 weeks into camp.
Brothers Jim.
Right? So we talk about adversity. It's nothing. I had the freaking ceiling collapsed in I have 2 master bedrooms in my house. And the one that I was sleeping in, the ceiling collapsed.
Oh wow.
Damn.
We had a really bad storm out here.
I was gonna say, how does that happen, man?
So we had a really bad storm out here, and I'm going to take accountability for my actions. So we have trees next to the house, and I didn't trim the branches back. And when it stormed, the branches got stuck up under the shingles.
Oh.
You had a leak.
No, rip.
What? Yep.
Yeah,
And it leaked when it came
yeah,
right
leak
through.
clogged out, bro.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Good
That
thing you were
was-
there, man.
Mother Nature's relentless, man.
I think that was like 4th or 5th week of camp. I'm not making this shit up, man. So my leg was infected. The ceiling collapsed in my house. I was like, "God damn it." Last week of camp, we did a meet and greet at one of my sponsors, and then we went out and talked to some kids. We did a little seminar in that. Well, come back, the little dude got sick from one of the other kids. And it's only passed between 2 and 5-year-olds. My son is 2. That was the last week of camp. And I'm like, fuck. And I just felt like, you know what? And I just kept praying on it. And I kept praying on it. And my buddy Trevor said, "Man, God's just testing you to see how bad you really want it." He said, if you could ever give an excuse or I had a million reasons not to do something, you can say it now or you can keep pushing through it, brother. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to pray on it and we're just going to keep moving forward. And so here's the major bomb. My wife's grandfather, well, we all call him Tio, he's a good friend of mine. There's a picture of him on my Facebook. He's in Puerto Rico. He's been sick for months now. I knew he was going to pass away. We actually sent her out there to Puerto Rico, to say goodbye and blah, blah, blah. I'll get to he died the morning of weigh-in. And nobody told me. Nobody said anything. Nobody said shit, right? And I took a picture of the big screen at weigh-ins, and all I did was click Facebook so I could share it.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I saw on my news feed, and I just broke down.
Shit.
And it was like...
Condolences, my man. Condolences from everyone here.
I'm not upset. He's not here suffering anymore. And this is the power of God, I'm telling y'all, right? So I'm like, this is literally right before we're supposed to walk on the stage. And I just walked off. And my coach Chase comes over and he's like, what's going on? And I told him. And my buddy Warren comes over and I told him, they were like, well, damn. And he's like, what you want to do? I was like, and I mean, that's not even a question. And Chase looked at me, he said, we're fucking professionals. He said, you got 10 minutes. Make your piece, say whatever you have to say, pray on it if you need to. He said, and you need to come back over here and be a professional. And I was like, yes, sir. And I prayed, and all I said was, you know what, God, I'm not upset. Thank you for giving him some peace, because I knew how sick he was. Amen. And I went and I weighed in. Actually, right before I stepped on before I walked through the curtain, I felt him. He was like, why are you? He was like, I'm glad you said that. He said, tomorrow night he's going to have the best seat in the house right next to me on the throne watching. And there was not a doubt in my mind that Theo wasn't watching down on me. Not giving me any help or nothing like that, but watching my performance. And I felt that shit. Do you know why I looked up right before I got in the ring?
That is.
The more I hear about you, the more it's
special. You know why I looked up before I got in the ring? So, I did my dance. I had fun. I lived in the moment. I enjoyed it. But I was just looking up like, I got you right before I stepped in the ring. And there was just nothing that was going to stop me. There was nothing that was going to fucking stop me. I didn't care.
While you were dancing.
Even if he would have knocked me down, even if it was the kind of fight where we truly went to war and it wasn't one-sided and he knocked me down 5 times, I would have kept getting the fuck up. But I already knew that I had the weapons and the tools, and all I had to do was go out there and execute. And I did. And so the next person I get in there with, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm going to come out and I'm going to execute whatever way I need to beat you. It's just not going to happen. I'm too deep in this game now. I'm an OG for real.
That's right. Hey, Reggie, you got that Reggie, medal to show it, man. You got it. You got to shine it.
Are you down to take another call? Because we're down to about 7 minutes, and we got about 10 more questions for you if you want to get 2 minutes. I'm going to leave it to you.
I'm cool.
Perfect. Okay. So I didn't want to rush these. There's a few good questions that have some.
We just got to set up a meeting.
I try to be a little short-winded. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. Wiz, let's go. 10 questions in 30 seconds. 30 seconds apiece. Let's go.
First things first, man. You want?
How big is your dick?
Oh, there it is.
30 seconds.
10 inches on a good day.
What was that?
10 inches on a good performance.
You got some 10 piece and some chicken nuggets. Oh,
get this man 2 sides right now.
Get this man a full meal for this wiener too, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Right. So running back to the seriousness shit. Who is the first person that you want on your list? Is it going to be the man that beat you or the man that wants his title back? Who do you prefer and why?
I don't prefer anybody. I told you I'm not making this path, man. I'm just walking it.
Fair enough.
I can say, I picked this person, but whatever manifests, I'm gonna step up to the challenge.
Okay.
Sure. So,
what's your gym?
Yeah, that was a phenomenal.
Where do you fight
out? It's called 7x7 Boxing. It's in Chesapeake, Virginia. Damn, my dad has had the gym open for like 15 years. So he opened it to keep me out of trouble. Well, I'm co-owner now. My mom's got ownership. Well, it's a family gym, though. We work together.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. Family, man. We get down with that.
Just like y'all family podcast. Like I said, we own a family gym.
Giving back
my
to
dad's treated, we build champions, and we truly do. We have nationally ranked fighters, and we have champions, from
awesome,
the age of
man.
8 all the way up to 36 now. I'm an old ass man, but I'm a champion. Go ahead.
Your dance moves choosing Nipsey Hussle when you came out.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, that just, part of my life, my street life, when I was out there running the streets, hanging out with, some of my cousins and my family, doing things I had no business doing.
Part of the reason my dad opened
I like to personally, one of the reasons.
Yeah.
I like to channel some of that energy. I know it's kind of crazy to go, but at a certain point you have to let the darkness out. That's one of his songs too, but I couldn't come out to that one.
Or should we?
And as far as Nipsey, I don't know. Well, one of my older cousins put me on to him a while ago before he had actually, had his life taken from him. So You know, and
Yeah.
that's like one of the things,
Rest in peace,
regardless of like what you're doing, you know, you saw that regardless of the music he was making, he was still trying to do positive things for his community, you know.
Absolutely, man.
A coward, you know, took him out, you know, and that's one of the things that I work really hard for, you know, out here in my community. And I go to bat for whenever they have, you know, anti-violence shows, anti-gun events, and you know, and most of that stuff. I'll be honest, I don't even live over there anymore. I used to live out in Hampton, and
Yeah.
I hated that shit. Like, one of the nights, and I'll tell y'all a scary story because we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and our daughter would sleep in the bedroom. We dragged the mattress out into the living room to sleep, and there was like a bar over in the shopping center away from her. And you know, you hear that shit every night. One night, me and my old lady were laying there. Bing, bing, bing. 3 came right through, 1 through the window and 2 through the wall. I was just like, you know what? Fuck that. I have to do something to get my family out of sleep. And I actually took, not a lot of people know, on my boxing record, I took the Jarod Tucker fight just because of that.
Wow.
Yes, I took the Jarod Tucker
You have
fight.
a
I think it was on
phenomenal
like
story,
4
man.
days. I took the Jarod Tucker fight on 4 days' notice. I cut 17 pounds.
Holy
Wow.
I gave that man a run for his money. He was beating my behind. He beat me up the first round. I caught him in the second round, beat me up the third round, and then he ran the 4th round.
Did your dad go pro in boxing?
Huh? No.
Did your dad? No.
I always say my dad sacrificed his career for his family. He stayed in the military till retirement. And I truly believe in my heart my dad would have been 10 times better professional boxer or athlete than I ever would have. So, and that was one of the things that why I worked so hard. Like in camp, he got to save me from myself sometimes because like he supports me. He's there. We train, and like, you know, some of it's really brutal, and I'll look over at him, and it's not even like disapproval that I see. It's just like I got to do more just to make sure that I'm ready, and he's got to save me from myself. Sometimes like, all right, son, you're good. You did enough. So, but I couldn't imagine doing it without.
Okay.
We're down to a minute and a half. I want to give you an opportunity to shout out all your sponsors if you want to. Shout out to anyone you want to.
Let's go, JD Joyner, Gordon Customs, S&N Suites. Shoot, or however you pronounce that damn thing.
Educatedhands.com, right? Is that
definitely? Yeah, educatedhands.co is my website. So we're about to buy a domain, man.
Okay, there you go.
Buy a domain, make me a Wikipedia page. Man, I got so many sponsors. Fight Hit MMA.
Let's not forget your most important one that you got it, or is it?
And my I got to shout out my momager, Kim Barnett, because without her, it doesn't function. Period.
That's right.
No matter what, without my mom, this shit
shout out to the momager. That's right.
We coined that phrase too. We coined that phrase. So.
You're a good man. We didn't get to touch on it. We're going to run out of time here, but I know that you're working within your community against gun violence, and so that was important.
Hit me up another time, man. We can always chit chat again. No,
absolutely, man.
The world knows what I stand for, right? And as I always say, God first, walk for your purpose, yo. I love to see y'all guys working together. Keep at it. Support.
No doubt. We respect you, man.
We appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
The marathon continues, and we can't wait for you to win your next fight, man.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great evening.
You too, bro.
Thanks, bro.
So
I think he hung up. I think we're out of
time. I'm not leaving. You got to kick me out. I'm chilling.
Perfect. That's right, man. Cool, man. We really appreciate it. We knew it was late over there. I'm